So you're curious about getting a rental property? Well, in this video, I'll be covering how I personally got my very first rental property and the loan differences between a rental property loan versus an owner-occupied property loan. Make sure to stay till the end where I'll be covering some bonus information and sharing why the rich love investment properties. Hey, it's Gwen with Intero Real Estate at Burlingame. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn about Bay Area real estate, make sure to click that subscribe button, hit that bell to get my latest videos. Let's jump right into it. Did you know that getting a loan for a rental property will cost a buyer more than getting one for an owner-occupied property? Banks will charge a higher interest rate for rental properties, and they require a bigger down payment for the loan. And in some cases, they require a bigger reserve just to qualify for the loan. Simply put, the lenders see it as a bigger risk. Put it this way, if you have an owner-occupied property and a rental property and you had a job loss, the lenders see it that you will probably default on your rental property first rather than risking and losing the roof over your head. So in that sense, the lender looks at it as a higher risk lending on a rental property. For my very first rental property, I ended up leasing my existing home and turning it into a rental. But before that, I actually did a cash out refinance, meaning I cashed out some of the equity that I had in the property and used that in turn as a down payment to purchase the next property to live in. Simply, it was a much more economical option rather than me buying an investment property right off the bat. I was able to qualify easier and I was able to get a better interest rate. Logistically, it worked out better for me as well. Of course, I was single at the time and didn't have a family. I lived in the second property for a few years, did a house hack by taking on some roommates just to help me get my head above the water with the mortgage. I did most of the repairs myself just to cut costs, so I spent a lot of time on YouTube watching educational videos, similar to what you're watching right now. So if you find this content useful and valuable, I'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for my latest videos. If you've already decided that getting a rental property is your next move, I congratulate you on your decision. Now, if you need a little bit more persuading, here are a few things just to keep in mind and why the rich love buying investment properties. Probably the most popular benefit that a lot of people like with rental property is the tax benefit. You get to write off any type of expenses, costs you incur with the rental property. And of course, there's depreciation deduction with your tax return, which in layman's terms, by owning a rental property, you'll eventually end up paying less taxes throughout the years. Then of course, there's the recurring passive income that you get from the rental each month that's coming in. Then there's the appreciation on the property value, which means that the longer you own the property will continue to appreciate in value throughout the years. Then there's the leverage investment, meaning that you're leveraging the money that you have to buy this investment property. It's not like the stock market where you have to put in all the money to buy that stock. By leveraging your money, you put in 20%, 25%, and then the bank will put in the remainder as a loan to buy that investment property. And then there's obviously the principal pay down. Throughout the years, the longer you have the rental property, the rental will eventually pay down the loan. And then, of course, the refinance, which is the example that I used in my previous example, was that I ended up refinancing the property as I got more equity in the property, refinanced, cashed out, and then eventually bought another asset, another rental property to invest in. I'm going to end with a quote by Andrew Carnegie. 90% of all millionaires became so through owning real estate.